Welcome back to Online Darts, everyone. We're here at Frome Football Club, and I've tracked him down. Gary, I think you've been avoiding me for a while. We've been trying to sort this out, and you're like, nah, get rid of it.
I've been waiting for the phone call, Phil. You know, so just get straight. I've not been playing football. Trust me.
Look, we haven't spoke properly for December, I think, in Aberdeen was the last time we spoke. We sat down and properly. First of all, how's things?
All right, yeah. Plodded along, as we say. You know, busy at the lakes and squeezing a few tournaments in between. It's good, yeah.
Well, still winning tournaments as well, winning on the Euro Tour, the Pro Tour and so on. It's just like, don't play for so long, then rock up and win. That's not a bad formula.
When it works, it's all right, but it doesn't work like that all the time. You know, it can be hard. There's days that I can turn up and it feels like I play 24/7. And there's days that I've turned up and it doesn't feel like I've played darts for about 6 months. But I'm just enjoying it. You know, I've not got nothing to lose.
It's the most content you've been playing.
Yeah, just throw darts and enjoy it.
Look, the World Championship didn't go to plan. Obviously, we know that you had a shoulder problem. I know you didn't want that disclosed, and Tommy, when he told the world. How difficult was that game to play in then with that issue? Because for us, we didn't notice anything, so it was like a compliment to you that you hit it until
Tommy told me. I went down to the hotel because I think Ty was in the practice room playing with Joe Cullen's boys and that. You know, he was on a practice. They all cleared off. I went down to have a throw and I couldn't get higher than the bullseye, and I knew I was in trouble. But it's one of these things, you know. It was a job that I had to do.
Yeah.
You know, it was a danger to the public that come fishing, so it had to be done. So I realised I'm not 21 anymore. But no, it took a while to go. You know, it took a while to get rid of it. So it's getting better now.
Bounce back though, winning tournaments and sneaking up those rankings. I know we have a WhatsApp about laughing at your rankings. You're fully aware that you're one good run away on TV from being back in that hallowed land.
Yeah, like I say, I've got to have a good run though, haven't I? That's the hard bit nowadays. I mean, the talent now, you know, it's unbelievable. The youngsters, we look Littler coming on the go, and the way Luke Humphries is playing, you know, the youngsters are coming out the woodwork, and it's going to be hard over the next few years, I'll tell you.
I remember you gave quite a damning interview at the World Championships 2 years ago when Luke Littler first played, and you compared him to Josh Rock, the way the media ruined his career. Now, we spoke to Josh about this for the first time a few months ago, and he agreed with you. We hadn't spoken to him about it, but it was interesting to get the other side. Like, you were looking at it from a player's point of view, looking in, and to get the players looking out, and Josh agreed that it set him back.
I've got a lot. I like Josh. I've got a lot of time for Josh. You know, he's a cracking lad, and he was turning up. I don't even know where he was ranked. I think he was outside the top 16. And they were having him as favourite to win the tournament. You know, and a young lad like that turning up to, might have been his first time on that stage of that tournament. Or this is the favourite to win it. Or this is the boy that's going to win it. It's a lot of pressure to put on, you know. So, but I say the same about Luke Littler, but he's thriving on it. But yeah, I do think he gets a bit fed up. You know, if he goes out to a shop with that, and the papers will go, oh, he was here, he was there. You know, it's just, give the boy a break a bit.
Yeah,
let them have a bit of life and do what they want.
Is that the modern world we live in now, though, where everyone wants a piece of someone? Obviously, a bit different when you were. I think social media wasn't a bigger thing and so on. Is that the world we live in?
Must be. You know, my technology stuff is zero. I'm absolutely zero. See, that's why I'm hiding. Nobody finds me. It's too useless December. I like the quiet places. But yeah, I think everything. You know, you sit and watch your kids working these computers and that. I've not got a clue what they're doing. You know, they're on Twitter and Facebook and all that. Not got a clue. Not got a clue about it all.
It feels like there's a bit of a changing in the guard at the moment in certain areas, but you just do your thing and you're still relevant and you still do what you do, still a huge fan favourite and so on.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. You know, even, there's days that I can't hit a barn door, but it's part of the parcel nowadays, but I just enjoy playing darts. You know, rankings, I know if I have a good year I'll go up, if I don't I'll drop, and it's as simple as that. But like I say, I'm just enjoying playing darts at the moment.
Did it hurt getting ditched by the PDC? Because you went from being in everything, an invite to everything, Premier League, every World Series, to not getting anything. I'm not saying that you would have wanted to do them, but did it hurt, annoy you a little bit that you just get axed from everything at once?
Nah, Premier League, you know.
I know the Premier League.
I could have thrown a party, you know, when they phoned up, oh sorry, but don't apologise about it, you know. It's, I mean, it's, the Premier League's great to play in the experience-wise, But 16 weeks is a long shift. People think, oh, you're just there throwing darts. It's not. It's the travelling on the Wednesday. You play on the Thursday. The Friday, you could be in Europe. This is why you see a lot of the boys pulling out the Europe tournaments when they had them, and or Leicester tournaments, pro tours like that. You know, it's a hard shift. Getting home on a Monday, maybe a Tuesday, pack, and away again Wednesday morning. So it's a long 16 weeks. It's a long time. It is hard on them.
Yeah, but even from the World Series, like with how popular you are with the fans and so on, and just to get axed.
Nah, if that's the way they do, you know. Hey, listen, PDC do what they want. You know, we know they do that. So listen, I'm classed as one of the dinosaurs now. So it's a young man's game now. But if I do get back up in the top 4, then I think I'll be saying a no to a lot of things.
Well, you've kind of beat me to it there. That the question that gets asked, everyone, who would you want to see back in the Premier League? And your name is always top. Now, I know the answer to this, but if I don't ask, people are going to say, well, you didn't ask him. Is there anything that anyone could do to talk you into having one more Premier League?
It's not about I'm not wanting to do it. It's my body won't let me do it. And it's as simple as that. I mean, I'm here, I've got 2 days in Froome playing darts. This morning I could hardly move on the go up. We knocked through a lot of darts last night. And it's just that, you know, if I'm doing that week in, week out, I'm enjoying the Pro Tour and I'm enjoying the Europeans that I'm doing. You know, so if I was to do that on a Wednesday or a Thursday, they can be written off. I couldn't do that and then go into Sue. So I'm more happy playing Pro Tour and the odd Europeans that I can get to quite easily. That's been my comfort zone.
Would you do a couple of the World Series if you were asked again then, just not the Premier League?
Well, it's going well enough without me, so probably not.
Interesting. Yeah. I like it. It's good to get in your mindset type thing and so on. And
what the people don't realize, I don't give a damn. I really don't. You know?
I know that.
And they can say this to me and say that to me. I just like playing darts, and that's it. You know, turn up, we'll have a great time, spend the time with all the kids and that. You know, the youngsters that are coming through, and it's fantastic. I'm enjoying doing that. You know, but like I say, the travelling wise, it gets a bit. I mean, when they go across to Australia, listen, it was fantastic when we went across there, but sitting on that plane, oh my God.
I can imagine that. World Cup on the horizon. Yeah. You and Peter trying to win another one for Team Scotland. Everyone is kind of already given the trophy to England and Luke and Luke. Would it be nice to one beat England and then win another World Cup?
Of course it would be, you know, but you can't actually see past Luke and Luke, you know. But there again, it's pairs. I struggle playing pairs. It's a game that we don't play unless these lads play it all the time down at the locals with their mates and that, and they're used to it. It's a hard game if you're not used to playing it. You know, I play it once a year, and it's at the World Cup. You know, and it's the two boys, Luke and Luke, they're rhythm players, aren't they? And it's a wee bit longer wait, and I'm sure there'll be a bit niggle on stage as well with other teams with them, a wee bit wind up, but all in good fun.
Look, this iconic Scottish pairing of you and Peter. Is this perhaps the last time that we could see you both in a Scotland shirt for different reasons and things?
It's getting bloody close, isn't it? I think there's about 110 years on that stage between us. It's I mean, listen, we could probably still be in the top 16 of the rankings for the next couple of years. So, yeah, we'll just have to see how it goes, see how Peter's feeling after it, and seeing what my body's up to after it.
We see other people pulling out of the World Cup and so on. As long as obviously you're fit and able to play, would you never not turn the opportunity down to play for your country?
Oh, listen, it's great. It's an honour, you know. Even when I was with the BDO playing for Scotland, you know, the boys, Mikey Veach and George, all the boys, it was great. You know, it was a great honour. It still is, you know. But like I say, we feel like a pair of granddads up there now playing darts with all the youngsters coming through. But listen, we'll give it a go. If we can click, we can give anyone a game of darts, you know. So fingers crossed, touch wood.
Look, your legacy in darts is incredible and rated up there the best Scotsman ever in a lot of people's top 5. But what would it mean just to carry on and add another TV title, regardless of what you won? Is that desire there to add to the collection?
Definitely. When I get there, I want to play darts, you know. I mean, like I say, I have settled with myself sometimes that they're not going to go where they're supposed to, and that's part of the parcel now. But when they go well, I mean, I've probably hit more 110 plus averages in the last 15, 18 months than what I've probably done in 10 years of my career, the last 10 years. So when they go, they're going absolutely well. So like I say, doubles scoring is usually fine, but the doubles, the finishing's been a bit bit off for the last few weeks, but we can just work on that.
What would it mean to add a third world title to that resume? Because getting to 3 world finals in a row the way you did is unprecedented, and obviously you pushed Michael to the limit in that third final, and the fairy tale wasn't quite there. But what would it mean to add a third world title to that collection?
Oh, it'd be nice, you know. That'd be 6 finals. So if I got 50%, that'd be all right. You know, I don't know what's the oldest age for world champion. What was Taylor when he won his last one?
Can't remember without looking.
He's over 54.
Don't think so.
Don't think he was he?
No.
Be nice. Could add that to it. As long as it's not when I'm 60. Don't want to be doing when I'm 60, but listen, to win it, like I say, the pot prize now is phenomenal, you know, so it's, everyone's going to be gunning for this one.
Well, obviously, 1 million for the winner, £25 million on offer across the whole season. What was your reaction when we saw that news from Barry?
It's great, you know, but then you could get somebody outside the top 32 come and have the greatest run of their life and win it. That puts them right up to what, 1 or 2 in the world?
Yeah.
Probably in second place, third place.
Yeah, certainly probably be top 2 with it.
They could have a draw that suits them to a T, you know, and they just fly through it, and for the love of gods they might go on to win it, and then it's a big make-up in the darts and the ranking when you add £1 million to it.
On that ranking, we've heard a lot of people and players say that they need to change the ranking now because it is going to be unbalanced. Would you agree with that opinion, that it does need looking at now with the world's being so top heavy?
It is. I mean, that one tournament can sort you out for your good 2 years, doesn't it? That gives you 2 years to build up, and the money that you've made at the Worlds. It's I don't know. I wouldn't know anything how they could do the rankings and that. You could do it that way or this way. It's kind of, I don't know. The way they do it now in the money rankings, it shows you what the players, how they're playing and what they've earned. If they've made a lot of money, they're playing well, so they deserve to be up there, you know. But like you say, when it comes to the Worlds, it's going to be a big number onto, even if Luke Humphries wins it again, I'll put him just shy of 3 million on his rankings, won't it? Yeah. Yeah, so it's a big catch.
So, as well, a lot gets mentioned, obviously, you've seen everything in darts, that this money at the top end is great. But are they doing enough for players 56 to 128?
No. Europeans, like I say, they're doing the qualifiers, and the amount that costs them for their flights, their hotel, their travel back and forward, because it ain't cheap across here, and that if they get beat first, second round, they're probably still out of pocket. You know, it costs a hell of a lot of money to do the circuit, and if you're doing that every week and you've not got a backer or a sponsor helping you out, it's going to be hard going. You know, you're losing money every week going to these Europeans, and it is hard. So I think the bottom end should have a bit more, at least cover enough money to cover their costs and give them a wee bit to put in the bank. That's
a common theme, but obviously that doesn't seem to be happening. The players don't seem to be being listened to. Is that frustrating when it's not so much the lower end players moaning, it's you guys at the top saying, these guys need helping out. It's you guys forcing that, trying to get help, but the players aren't being listened to. Is that frustrating?
Well, especially when you go to the Challenge Tour, because they're across here, aren't they? They're across abroad with the challenge. And what do you get for winning a Challenge Tour?
$2,500, I think.
Well, you need to win that just to cover your costs for the weekend that you're across, or the 3-4 days that you're across. You know, it does cost a lot of money. People don't realise it, but the lads are, like I say, it's a lot of money to fork out. And if you're doing it yourself, you're not getting any advance in your money that you're winning. It's not going to help you anyway. It's all going back onto the next tour. So it's going to be hard for them.
Well, I understand why the PDC make the changes, because they're doing it from a promotional point of view. I understand that, but the PDPA are meant to be there for all players, not just the elite. Are they doing enough then to back you players in general against these decisions?
I don't know. They seem to stay away from me. They don't seem to come and talk to me. I don't know. Like I say, there's things that you can help them with, and then there'll be somebody say, "Oh, that's no good." You'll never please everybody, no matter what goes on. You know, so they've just got to try looking after the lads. It's like I say, it's the young ones that are having to go abroad, and the Challenge Tour costs a hell of a lot of money. You know, and if what do they get beat if they get beat the first round? Do they get anything?
No.
Nothing. So they're forking out 400, 500, 600 quid for flights, 600, 700 quid for hotels, and you've got your taxis back and forward. It builds up, Phil. Honestly, it's a lot of money. So it's going to be hard for them, you know.
Would you like to see something on the Pro Tour for first round losers as well? Same principle to cover costs, because
I think if they could cover, yeah. It was back in the old days we used to pay £100 a day entry, wasn't it?
Yeah.
£100 a day, and I used to think, oh God, 100 quid to enter a tournament. But if you won your first game, you got double that back.
Yeah.
So you'd paid for your entry for the next 2 days, and it's just the way it kind of works. But some of the boys are hard. You know, they say if you want to play darts, pack in your work and do it. You can't, because it's costing a lot of money. You need to find it, and if you've not got a sponsor, it's even harder.
You talk a lot of sense when it comes to things like this, and people love listening to you basically tell it how it is. When your playing career is done, would you like to get into the other side of it and help players out, just giving them advice, and maybe go against the authority and give the PDPA information and say, look, no, we need to back the players here more, because whenever there's anything comes up, it's only 1 or 2 players that speak out. Normally you're one of them. Yeah. So is there something you'd like to do once playing this?
I get classes moaning. I don't moan. Trust me, I'll work on things for weeks just to wind them up. But it's the boys. You know, I've said it for a long time. I'm like I say, I'm getting to the end of my career and that. Yeah. I think when I'm done, I'm just wanting some peace and go fishing and spend time with the kids. You know, it's one of the things. Can it be held? What do you talk about, unions or players? Players always say they stick together. They don't stick together. You know, if they want something changed, they've all got to stay as a group and say, look, you need to sort this out. You know, it's no use just moaning about it. Get the players all to sit down and go, right, this is what we need to help us, and then it gives them a case, doesn't it?
Do you think the PDPA should be voluntary, not mandatory at this point? Because you guys have to give 2% away and you don't get a say in it. Do you think that should be like a union? It should be optional whether you're in or out?
Well, see, I don't know. I never get involved with things like that. You know, I just turn up and play darts. That's my. I don't know.
I've stumped you for once.
You have. I don't actually know. I mean, like I say, yes, they help players, but players moan about things, they listen to them, maybe not. I don't know. Like I say, we're over my pay grade now.
Yeah, no, I get it.
We're about like politics and that now, but it's definitely the first round for the boys going to, especially Europeans, even at home. You know, hotels are not cheap now. Yeah. I think it comes to the hotels know that, well, the darts lot are in, bump up the prices by 50%. You know, you never find a cheap hotel now, they're always rocketing. So it's, I think they're the ones that will need help with their travelling and that. You know, and to get new players through, they've got to do it. But if they can't afford to, they can't do it. So
no, I get that. It's a nice way to look at it. And again, I know that obviously it helped you this year because you got bumped to a seed on the Saturday in the European Tour. Yeah. But have the top 16 been protected too much now? Or have they earned that right because being in the top 16 to be protected?
A bit of both, isn't it? Yeah. You get to top 16. That's Barry always says that. If you want the limelight, you need to put the work in and get up there. You know, you get up there, and then what you're looking at a couple of years in that position. But if you don't perform, you'll soon be out the top 16. You know, so it's one of these things. But like I say, I think there was I don't get involved with all this crap. Was it some of the Premier League players hadn't qualified for the Europeans? Would have had to do the qualifiers?
They would have done, but then the rules got changed.
And then the rules got changed.
Yeah.
That's a bit wrong. You know, it's the same, everyone's fighting for their spot. So it's, you know, that to me that's wrong. You know, if you fall out and you need to qualify, you need to qualify. If you don't want to do it, don't turn up to qualifier. And it's one of the things. But yeah, I think that was a bit wrong for players. You know, because you'll have players that'll need to, they have to qualify for it now, don't they?
Yeah, 100%.
And that's it. That was a bit naughty, that one, I think.
Looking ahead, what would be a good year for Gary Anderson? What if we sit down
making it to the end of the year, Phil? Yeah. No, listen, I'm just enjoying it. You know, I'm busy at work with the lakes and that. Busy with the kids with their football and their gymnastics and
horses.
and I'm turning up to tournaments, and I'm enjoying it.
Gary, it's a pleasure catching up with you as always. And
Thank you for that.
You keep the world happy now because everyone's like, speak to Gary, speak to Gary.
I try going to hide like a hermit. Just disappear, don't I?
You regret the day you gave me your number, didn't you? It's like, you yelled at me now.
I see you turn up the day, I went, oh, sugar.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers, Phil. Thank you.